Welcome to Hunter Beyond Time and Space Chapter 29. When Lu Dezhu said that he had traveled to the 18th prison and had already met Li Shuthong, it was like saying to everyone, I have played the beta version of this game and have already obtained the only orange weapon and the strongest hidden occupation in the game. In just a moment, Lu Dezhu became a godlike presence in the minds of the students. Qin Chen looked at everyone's reaction silently, but it was not his business, and there was no need to expose the other party. I only heard the classmates ask, what does Li Shuthong look like? Lu Dezhu thought for a moment and answered, he is special in the prison. While others wear prison uniforms, he is the only one wearing those Tai Chi exercise clothes. I guess he might be the prison warden or something. He also has two followers, one thin and smiling, and the other is more burly and doesn't speak much. It sounds like a boss. The classmates exclaimed. By the way, Lu Dezhu said, he also has a big cat, with fur sticking up on both ears, looks like a lynx. Everyone saw that Lu Dezhu spoke so detailed, and gradually believed what he said. At this time, someone asked, did you get the job transfer method from him? Influenced by He Xiao Xiao, many students were using game terms to describe the virtual world. However, Lu Dezhu hesitated when he heard this and said, if you want to get a job transfer, it's not that easy. You heard He Xiao Xiao, Li Shuthong is not an ordinary person, it's not easy to gain his trust. The classmates nodded as if it was reasonable. Thinking this way, it might not be certain whether Lu Dezhu could get the opportunity to transfer jobs. But, Lu Dezhu immediately added, since I have traveled to the 18th prison, I will not miss this opportunity, and I have already talked to Li Shuthong. Everyone's interest was aroused again. What did you say? Lu Dezhu continued to dodge, we just exchanged a few words. At this point, only Qin Chen knew what Lu Dezhu said to Li Shuthong, give me a job transfer task. Someone asked, when you traveled to the 18th prison, were you a prisoner? Isn't it dangerous and tough? Lu Dezhu said, no, I am different from other prisoners. Qin Chen knew that what he said was true. After all, other prisoners were not in solitary confinement. As he listened, he turned and went back to his classroom. It seemed difficult to get any nutritious information from the other party. And now, the reason why the other party said so was probably because of the vanity of young people. Someone once said that when the gods created human beings, his followers were worried, you have given humans curiosity, wisdom, and courage, they will be too powerful. So the god thought for a moment and replied, then give them some vanity and jealousy. Qin Chen felt that having vanity might not be a bad thing, but it was a very foolish choice to expose oneself as a traveler in the current environment. Especially to claim that one knows one of the most important figures in the virtual world. At least according to He Xiao Xiao's strategy, Li Shuthong is indeed such a character. However, it is not as easy to obtain extraordinary methods from Li Shuthong as it seems in the strategy. You should know that Qin Chen has made so much effort just to get close. In the exclamation and envy of his classmates, Qin Chen passed by with the classmates who had just come to join in the fun. He did not intend to enjoy this kind of glory, and other people's eyes had nothing to do with him. Moreover, the mysterious organization is probably coming soon. Last time the other party did not show up, but this time they would definitely come. However, when he was walking backwards, he suddenly saw Nanjingchen shrinking behind the crowd. Nanjingchen, Qin Chen shouted. Ah! Who called me? Nanjingchen looked up. So Qin Chen saw Nanjingchen looking listless. What's wrong with you? Qin Chen wondered, did someone hit you? No, Nanjingchen quickly shook his head and lowered his head, I just didn't sleep well. Qin Chen looked at him, there were no mechanical limbs or other abnormalities, just not in good spirits. He pulled Nanjingchen back to the classroom and asked in a low voice, was it because you were tortured when you traveled to the past? Traveling? What time travel? Nanjingchen pretended to be confused. Now Qing Chen had doubts in his heart, he was sure that the other party had traveled. But what did this guy experience in the virtual world to change his previous arrogant appearance to the current appearance? What did you do when you traveled to the past? Qing Chen muttered. I didn't travel. Whoever said I traveled, I will argue with him. Nanjingchen said. Okay, Qing Chen couldn't ask anything, and didn't care anymore. He didn't even know where the other party had traveled to and what his identity was, so he couldn't help him. It wasn't until just before class that Nanjingchen finally whispered, Didn't I tell you before, there is a group of time travelers? Yeah, you mentioned it, Qing Chen nodded. This guy wasn't particularly deep in the city, and no one could confide in such a big thing as time travel, so he must have been unable to hold it in. Nanjingchen said, Didn't I tell you that someone in the group is selling socks from the virtual world? Yeah, Qing Chen nodded. That's fake, Nanjingchen said, don't ask me how I know, anyway, he is not a time traveler, and he can't bring the socks back from there. Okay, Qing Chen nodded. Nanjingchen continued, Didn't I tell you that a time traveler said he could help contact a rich woman if he went back? Yeah, Qing Chen nodded. That time traveler is real, Nanjingchen said. Qing Chen respected him. He looked at Nanjingchen with a shocked face and couldn't speak for a long time. To be honest, even when he first traveled, he wasn't so shocked. So, the reason for this guy's listlessness was because after he went in, someone helped him contact a rich woman. After Nanjingchen couldn't help but finish speaking, he also realized that he had said too much, so he quickly added, I also heard it from others in the group. I am not a time traveler. Okay, I understand, Qing Chen nodded and approved of his sophistry. Both sides fell into a long silence. Suddenly, Qing Chen asked, Is the pay high? Nanjingchen's face changed drastically, I already said that I am not a time traveler. At this time, the bell for class rang. But the students' attention was not on the teacher who had just entered the classroom, but on the 4 black-clad men walking in the corridor outside the window. Qing Chen used Nanjingchen's figure to cover himself and silently watched outside the window. The 4 black-clothed men were accompanied by the head of the Academic Affairs Office, walking towards the next classroom. The students were surprised and talked, even the math teacher couldn't help but stand on the corridor and look. Only Qing Chen wasn't surprised because he had seen these people before. Thank you for listening to this episode of the audio novel, The Hunter Beyond Space and Time. If you enjoy this channel, click subscribe to get more fascinating English audio novels. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, turn on notifications or share on social media below to let us know your thoughts. See you next time.